Hi, today we have Dualshock 3 PS3 controller, which is not in a bad shape. I mean, it's kind of dirty, it has some sticky glue residue, but apart from that, it looks perfectly fine. The only problem with it is that it doesn't work. I mean, it does work, but it behaves like kind of random buttons are being pressed all the time. So yeah, let's take it apart. Let's fix what's broken and let's clean it up so that it looks nice and works perfectly fine. So to start, you'll need to remove 5 Phillips screws. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now with the screws removed, just use the plastic spudger to take off the to separate the two parts. So it's fairly easy. You could probably do this with your fingernails or something, but let's try and remove that. I think the bottom comes out first. Trying to not to remove these buttons. One came off, that's okay. Put it back. There it is. So with the cover off, first thing we need to do is to take out this battery, and for that we'll just don't pull on these cables because this looks fragile. I'll grab some tweezers or pliers and I'll remove that. So let's flip the battery and just grab this, just by this white part. This part here is connected, it's the connector that's on the motherboard, so don't pull on this. Just grab the white part and use some force because it's sits there quite. There you go. Don't do that. There you go. So the battery is out. Now there's one additional screw right here, so I'll take this out. And now we need to remove the motherboard, but these motors are connected to the motherboard. I think I'll just desolder them because it'll be easier to remove the motherboard. So I'll just heat up those pads and the cables come off very easily. That's one done. And done. So with this desoldered, we can now remove the motherboard. We can take out these thumbsticks, but I think they're fine. Maybe I'll take them off just to clean them. They come out very easily. Yeah, it's dirty. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's some hair and nasty kind of stuff there. So yeah, I'll take it away and I'll just clean it. Just looking at this to see if there's any obvious problem, but no, I don't think there's any issues with this. It just needs cleaning. So I'll take it away and clean it later. Let's continue. So we'll take the buttons out. Okay, now we need to take out this this white part, the frame, because there's those all the pads for the buttons are underneath it, so we need to take it out and clean it. And to do that, we'll use our spudger and release these. There are these plastic tabs that hold the motors and this white frame. So I'll just use this to the spudger to release those. This one's out. Let's take the other one. This one's back in. No, it's okay. So all you need to do is there's this white tab there. So you just press on it and it should come out just like that. So now let's try to wheel it out of the frame. There it is. So this doesn't look bad in my opinion. I'll clean it anyway, but this, yeah, there's some gunk in on the motors. So I'll remove the motors and clean the motors as well. These look kind of okay. I need to take this out as well. You just move that. Just wondering if I need to remove this membrane. Probably not. The contacts are on this side, so I'll just clean these contacts. I'll clean the motors because yeah, there's some nasty stuff on one of them. I'll take this out. These need to be cleaned. So I don't think I need to, well, I need to remove the motors again. Just push on them and they will come out. Or they should come out, yep. So this one's out. So now what I'll do, I'll take these membranes, I'll take all the buttons, they're all here. So I'll take all the plastic parts, I'll take the membranes, buttons and all that, and I'll clean this off with hot soap water. I'll do it off camera. There's thousands of videos on how to clean stuff in a hot soapy water. So everything is back nice and clean. I just put the motors into this plastic frame. But one thing that I noticed is that there is some sort of residue like oxidation or something on this connector here. I'm not sure if you can see. It's kind of, some of the pads are slightly different color or discolored. I think it might be the oxidation. This actually may be the source of my problems with this pad. So let me just try and clean this with some isopropyl alcohol. I'll see if this goes away. If that's the problem, then this would be a really easy fix. Okay, let me see if that has helped. I think it did help. I think it looks better. Let me just, in the meantime, let me just clean this a little bit as well. There's more here. Okay, that should be okay. Let me just go over this one more time. By the way, I did have a look. on this flex PCB, and I didn't see any broken traces or anything like that. So I think this flex PCB or whatever it is, this green or this transparent stuff with green tracks, I think this is okay. As I said, I didn't see any broken traces or anything like that. Okay, so I think this is ready to go back to the shell. As I said, you need to put the motors back first, and then let's pause for a second because I lost audio, unfortunately, so I'll have to do some voiceover. So just put your buttons back in place, back in the shell. Make sure they are in correct positions. They have the tabs kind of, so you can't really put them wrong. Make sure, don't forget about your PlayStation button. And once all your buttons are in, put the membranes back in. Put the white frame back in. Make sure it sits flat and the shoulder/trigger buttons are in correct positions. Then this, don't forget these membranes that go on shoulder buttons. They have that hole or indent in one of the positions, and make sure it goes on top. So the one with the hole goes to the trigger button. And once that's done, put the thumbsticks back in on the motherboard, and finally the motherboard back in. Make sure the wires are on top so you have access to those. Make sure it sits flat, and check the buttons if they feel right. Now next step is to put the trigger buttons and shoulder buttons. This can be kind of tricky to put in, but it can be done. Also make sure that the springs on the trigger buttons are in correct position. So just like that, and put them back in. Now time to solder the motor wires. Again, any soldering iron will do. Just you don't even need to add solder. Just put them back in place, solder them back in. And once that's done, just put the back cover. Oh, sorry, I forgot the battery. Don't forget the battery. There's two tabs on the battery, so put them in place. Put the back cover on. I'll just secure it with one screw just to test the controller. So put the screw back in and make sure everything feels okay. Okay, so we've got our PS3. The controller is connected to it. Let's start it. See what happens. Again, the problem with the controller was that it kind of worked, but it was all over the place. So it kind of behaved like random buttons were pressed at random times. So let's see if this helps. I can see improvement already, because normally it would just start doing funny things. Okay, it looks like it works. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so that's done. So this controller is now repaired or fixed and refreshed, cleaned, and all that. So that's all for today. This was kind of easy fix, but I have a few of these controllers and I just realized none of them worked. So I have at least 2 or 3 more to kind of repeat the same procedure on those. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks very much for today. And if you enjoy my videos, please subscribe. Thank you.